Welcome to All Things Food. I love to cook and I cook to love, and one of the favorite things that I love to cook is chicken. We have chicken at our home 3-4 times a week. I mean, sometimes I feel like I need to be plucked. We have so much chicken. But I have one way that I could cook chicken every night and really not get tired of it, because there's so many varieties and ways I can do this. But we're gonna cook a herb stuffed spatchcock chicken. So we're gonna do a little bit of it inside here, and then we're gonna go out to the grill. And when we come back, you're gonna be so impressed, you're gonna wanna cook this dish tonight. So let's get started. So, I watch a lot of videos on cooking chicken and people dealing with chicken, and there's something that they all seem to leave out that I think is so important, and that's the sanitation and safety element of chicken. Chicken is one of the leading causes of foodborne illness. When you deal with a chicken, you gotta pretend like it's poison. And because anything you touch and then touch it, you're gonna contaminate everything around you. So I'm really particular when I cook with chicken to make certain I have nothing else around that can be contaminated and that I'm ready to clean up any spills. So here's some of the things that I always do when I cook chicken. One, I always have some disposable gloves. I always have a sanitizer solution. I always keep that on hand. I like it. It's nice, pretty blue, and I always keep that on hand. Now, why do I have a colored board, a yellow board? This board here is exclusively used in my kitchen for chicken and nothing else. I don't cut anything on this board other than chicken. So those are kind of some of the safety elements. And after you're finished, be sure to clean up everything, sanitize all your bowls, your knives, your shears, whatever you used. Be sure to be very safe when it comes to using chicken. So we're gonna spatchcock this chicken. And what does it mean to spatchcock a chicken? It really just means to open up the chicken and remove the backbone, and that way you can fillet the chicken wide open. And you do that for a couple reasons. One, it makes it a lot easier to cook it. It cooks much quicker than leaving the chicken whole as we have it now. And it also imparts more flavor to it because you're exposing more cooking surface to the grill or to whatever you use, the oven, and you're gonna get more browning and more flavor when you have that much more cooking surface. And it also allows you to put a little bit more seasoning on the chicken. So we can use the kitchen shears, and these are heavy duty stainless steel scissors, and they're very good for cutting through bones. So one really important piece of equipment to have in your kitchen arsenal is a very good set of kitchen shears, and we're gonna show you when we spatchcock this chicken in a few moments. So let's get this little chicken over here, put it up on our yellow cutting board, and we're gonna examine it and figure out where the backbone is. So if the chicken is here where the wings and the legs are pointing upward, that's the bottom side, the breast, the belly portion of the chicken. You don't wanna cut that part. But while we have it upside down, see all this little fatty area right in here? We're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna just take my knife and cut that out of there, and we're gonna discard that. Clean it up just a little bit. So we cleaned up that little fat on the tail end there, and I reached in here and I grabbed the giblets out of it, and you can save those for cooking something later. Now I know what some of you are asking already. We talked about safety. And I know someone's chiming in right now, oh, he's not washing the chicken, he hasn't rinsed it off. Well, according to the current health regulations set by our health departments, they did not recommend the washing of poultry before cooking, because they say, and they've done a lot of research into this, that doing so can spread a lot more contaminants. You can argue with that, you can debate it, but until you write the rules, we're gonna follow these rules here. So I'm gonna turn the chicken over. There's the wings, there's the legs there, and here's the backbone. So we're gonna start spatchcocking. I always like to start up here at the neck of the bird, because there's kind of an area there, a V, that it's easy to get to. So I'm gonna start right up there, right at the neck, turn the chicken around. I'm gonna find that backbone right there. I'll tell you one easy thing to do, actually, is to take your knife and go right down the backbone. If you have a hard time identifying where it is, if you go right down the middle of it, it's easy for you to get in there and feel and know right exactly where it is. So I'm gonna take scissors, stay as close to that backbone as I can. And I think it's just easy to do with scissors, even though it's not hard to do it with a knife. It's just not as safe. So I'm through on one side. I'm going to turn it where I can get a good angle at it. Since I'm right-handed, I'm going to come down this side, holding the backbone as I do this. See, what are you going to do with the backbone? Well, we're not going to cook it today, but we're going to save it. We're going to freeze it and use it for stock later. So we have the backbone removed here, and the chicken's open like that. A couple things we can do. I usually just like to take the chicken, lay it flat on its stomach there, and press it down, break that bone right in there, and so it'll lay flat. I'm going to take some paper towels. I'm going to dry it off as best I can. Let me dry my board first, actually. And this is a little messy, so there's no getting around this part of it. And when you're messing with the bird, try not to penetrate the skin around the breast and legs, because we're going to need that skin to look good and pretty. And then we're going to trim off some of these little loose feather ends on the wing there. Just kind of make it look a little nicer. So we're good and dry. Nothing's running around here. We're going to take this chicken, we're going to come down to the neck end of it and see how that skin just kind of comes up. Carefully work your fingers under there. Don't tear, because that skin's attached to the breast. And you can carefully work your fingers up in there. It's very elastic, so it's going to stretch, but be careful not to tear through. Now, sometimes that'll just happen and you can't do anything about it. But right there in the middle, you're going to find it's attached, and just reach in there and take your finger and work it up. I'm working that skin all the way down the thigh and leg as much as I can, because we're going to stuff herbs in there. So I think we're good. So here's the, yeah, we didn't, look at that, didn't tear a single thing there. So we're going to take our herbs. We have thyme, rosemary, lemon, which is very important, and then I've got some sliced garlic. So there's no particular order to do this. So I'm going to grab a little bit of the rosemary here, stuff it down around those legs, stuff that down there. Then I'm going to take some of the thyme and put in here, and they smell great. Then I'm going to take some of this butter over here. I sliced up some butter, cubes of butter, and we want to get it way down in here, down around those legs and thighs. If we do this without tearing that skin, it'll be something else. Now we're going to take some of these lemons and stuff down in there. And the lemons will really give it a nice zing. And I'm going to give you a little bonus recipe for the leftovers that's just fabulous. And I'm going to get a little garlic. Now sometimes when I'm going to do one of these birds, I'll season it heavily with kosher salt the night before, put it on a rack and put it in the refrigerator uncovered until the skin almost dries out on it. And that's a really good technique that I've actually demonstrated in another video. So the bird's pretty dry on top. Dry this here a little bit, turn it over, make certain it's good and dry here. Now the seasoning I've put in a bowl. This is just a regular chicken poultry seasoning that I bought at Sam's or Walmart, and it's really a good seasoning. You can use Cavender's, your own mix. You can use barbecue rub, Malcolm Reed's rub, whatever. It's all good. So I'm not going to worry about contamination. I poured everything in here because I'm going to throw this out. I'm going to generously season the underside of the bird here. Now while I'm doing this, I have a grill going outside, and it's getting good and hot. And on that grill, I have two cast iron griddles. I could use a cast iron pan, or I could even cook this in the oven if I wanted to. Not a problem. So I've seasoned it pretty well on that side. Turn it over here. Season it real good on this side. Be generous with your seasoning, because some of this you're going to lose in the cooking process. Just pour it all on there and spread it out. So there we have it. It's pretty much ready to go into the grill. It's seasoned pretty well. So we're going to take this bird out and we're going to put it on the grill, hot grill, right on the griddle. And normally when I do a spatchcock chicken, I like to put this side down first, because it browns it and gets it very crisp and beautiful. But because I have all this butter in here and all these herbs, I choose not to do that because I want that butter to base down through the chicken. And I think it just works out a little better that way. So we will still brown the top of it. We'll come back later, put a piece of foil on it, tint it, and it'll help brown the bird a little bit. So let's go outside and see what happens. Over here on my grill, I've got it up to about 375 degrees. And on the grill, I have these cast iron griddles. I'm going to use the one right here in the back, put a little bit of oil on it, get it good and hot. Then we're going to take this bird, and it's opened up. We're going to just lay it on the grill just like that. And now that I have it on the grill, I'm going to take my digital thermometer, stick it in the breast, down in the middle of the breast, down low. Close the grill and set my thermometer on chicken, which will be programmed at 165 degrees. And right now it's 56 degrees internal temperature. We're looking for the 165. I'm going to leave that there, and we're going to watch it every once in a while just to see how it's doing. But when we hear that beeper go off, we know our chicken's ready to check. So my thermometer went off, I heard the beep, and it's internal temperature of 167 according to that. So my thermometers match up. It looks like we're about 168 degrees roughly. And look at that beautiful spatchcock chicken. Absolutely gorgeous. And now let me give you a little bonus tip. If you have any of this left over, because of all those aromatics that are in there, the lemon, you can make some of the best chicken salad ever. So you can watch my chicken salad video. The only thing you'll need to change on that is don't put add the lemon juice to the recipe. I promise you it'll be the best chicken salad you've ever had in your life. Now I love to cook, and I really love to cook spatchcock chicken. Thank you for watching the channel today. Like this video today, share it with your friends, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and tell all your friends. It's not going to cost you a dime. And remember, above everything else, love to cook and cook to love, and I'll see you next time.